Hello, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to JKLO's channel. Today I'm going to give you a crash course on MuleSoft. So welcome to Joe's MuleSoft crash course 1. So here we will be covering quite a bit of topics in very short time so that this will help you on to get an idea to use MuleSoft if it is suitable for you, and if you are interested in MuleSoft and getting wanted to know what's in there, then this video will really help you out. So here we're going to discuss what is an API-led connectivity, and how we'll be designing, developing, deploying, and monitoring the APIs using MuleSoft. And I have also put 3 points here: how to register with MuleSoft, how to log in into Anypoint Platform, and how to download Anypoint Studio, and what are the important aspects of this MuleSoft. We'll be seeing that. Adding to that, I'll also explain you how to monitor APIs, or give an introduction or brief outlook on what Anypoint Platform does, and we'll discuss about the API-led connectivity. So let's get started. As I said, MuleSoft is a technology which is used to develop APIs and use them. Developing API can be happening in many other ways, like using a Java application and deploying it on a cloud to, or deploying it on some device, some server, and making it run all by itself. It's called an API. When we talk more about APIs, here I have already gotten a definition of it in Google. So it says a set of functions and procedures allowing the creation of applications that access the features or data of an operating system, an application, or other services. This is a package of information or functions or programs that have been designed and built. Okay, that is an API. So when how to access these APIs? Through web services. So MuleSoft completely depends upon the web services. So web services, you should have a brief idea what are the web services available and why they are used in. We need to know that you can, if you have an idea, that's well and good, or else please read about the web services. It has two web services, SOAP and REST. Right? So this MuleSoft is completely about APIs and web services, and also it does quite a number of tasks like batch processing or scheduled jobs, many other things, transformations. We'll add on to that, but this is the most essence of it. And what an API-led connectivity is. MuleSoft is the only tool which is famous for this API-led connectivity. What what it actually is. As you see, there are three blocks here, dark blocks. These are three levels. So MuleSoft segregated APIs into three types for better use of it, and to give a much better experience to the clients, whoever implements this technology. So system API, process API, and experience APIs are the three layer of APIs which MuleSoft proposed. So what these three contains, as you can see here in the diagram, it's easily illustrated that experience APIs are communicating with the front end, or the client or customer. Okay, there you see a mobile, a user's organization, TV, watch, or any communication, or it could be a simple device like a washing machine or oven. So many other things. So these are the how out exposed APIs. So they are called experience APIs. Invocation and digital products will be using this experience APIs. And the process APIs, agility and new value creation. Generally in the outside world, process APIs are used to implement the business logic and to perform the transformations. And the system API, which means deserialize data to core assets. There will be many destinations, all like assets, database or file server or web services, legacy systems, and or a cloud services, anything that is an asset. Backend systems, the APIs which connect to the backend systems are called system APIs. So these APIs has an external connectors which talks to the external services. See, if you write a Java program or build a program that will connect to a database, take some data and process it to the front end, that is itself an API. So MuleSoft also does that particular part of it. Here destination can be database and front end Angular JS or whatever running on the front end, which talks to this database using an particular program, an API, that is called an API. So while talking to the database and the front end, this API is divided into three parts. If the API is talking to the database, then that is called a system API, and which takes the data and transform it into a JSON format or a SOAP format or an Excel spreadsheet. The transformation happens somewhere with some business logic for filtration or adding another destination's values or massaging the data. That happens in this process level API. And there will be another API which talks to this process API, is called an experience API, where it which always just like an interface or a welcome um, a receptionist which talks to internal agents, internal APIs. So experience API will take orders and give data to the users, and it will talk to the process API, and process API will talk to the system API. So what is the advantage of it? So let's assume we have designed an application which takes data from database and give it to the process API, and process API will transform the data into Excel spreadsheet and hand it over to the front end user, that spreadsheet. So this we build three APIs here, which hands over data, spreadsheet data to the end user, that is experience API, which performs transformations and business logic, that is an process API, and which talks with the database, is called system API. Tomorrow I have a different kind of requirement which takes the data from the database and which adds additional values to that and give it to and save it onto the cloud. This is the approach. So we are already talking with the database using a system API, so I can just reuse the system API to talk with a different process API which will take the values from this database as per the new requirement and change it into the um, format, that JSON format, which will be used to save that data onto the cloud. Here cloud is our customer. So this happens in this three level API led connectivity design. Hope I explained you well and hope you got that. If not, please rewatch or read something about the API led connectivity on the internet. What we can do with the API MuleSoft: design, develop, deploy, and monitor. So when we talk about these four steps, if you're a traditional Java developer or a .NET developer, then you design the APIs basically like writing their interfaces and designing them and then reusing those designed fields. But using MuleSoft, you have a different technology and language called RAML, where you can design these APIs, give it to the customers, and um, make a contract or a discussion on what format they need and what they accept, this kind of what they actually want. We can design and give the customers who doesn't have any knowledge on the data or the development can still understand this design, which is just like documenting. All it adds up the documentation which is user friendly, easy to understand, doesn't need any programming skills to get that what services we are designing. And then followed by develop. So designing and then inheriting those classes and start writing the business logic if you are a traditional Java developer or a .NET developer. So we write this logic or develop this service, build the classes and all, do all that using Anypoint Studio. That is a development phase. We build the APIs here, and then the APIs is been converted into uh, uh, a jar file or a deployable file, and we deploy this over a cloud. This deployment take place in Anypoint Platform. We will discuss more about it. That is the deploy stage and how to monitor them. Why do we need monitoring? Once the API is up and running, then we have to monitor them to how it performing. We might need to monitor when we deploy an application, okay, to check its status. These are the four steps. As you see here, whenever we work with MuleSoft, we just use these three screens you are seeing here. A MuleSoft developer will always be dealing with these three aspects or three screenshots you're seeing. One is Anypoint Platform, one is Anypoint Studio where we develop, and one is Postman to test those services. You can use any other client, but Postman is very well known and famous client which is used to test the web services. There are other tools like advanced REST client, arc, which is called arc, and other will soap UI and various clients. But these are the three things a MuleSoft developer will always be working on. Okay, we'll discuss more about it. So now let's see on how to get introduced to MuleSoft. You can register with the MuleSoft by click on login, and you don't have an account, sign up here. So this is a page you will be finding to register with the MuleSoft. Enter your full name, email address, phone number, company, it can be anything, and username and password. Check this marks and create an accept. You'll get 30 days trial, so you can do that. That is the first step to register. Once you have registered, you will see a page like this. This is called Anypoint Platform. This Anypoint Platform you use it to design and also monitor the APIs. First, third, and fourth are the steps can be performed on Anypoint Platform. So when you click this hamburger over here, you will see Design Center where you design, and Exchange Center where you design and publish the API so that you can expose that URL literally to the customer and customer will see it. For example, this is a API which we is already there. So this API, when you click on it, here you will see the summary of what an API is. I haven't put any specification, so you're not seeing them. So here you see a design. In the design, you can design an API. This is RAML and you will be designing here. There will be a language called RAML that's very easy and you can learn it in a day, and that happens here. And deployment takes place in the runtime manager here. So here you can choose the different environments like dev, test, prod, and what server you would like to put in. And here you deploy the API. There will be a deploy button and you can redirect to that deployed jar after you design, then we can deploy that. And monitoring, you can do that over here. Once you deploy an application, you will get various options to monitor them. So you can basically monitor there. I'll deploy an application next time and show you. So these are the steps, and this is sorry, it all started on how to register with MuleSoft. That's how we register. Log into Anypoint Platform. So you can, once you come here, you can click on this main site, and but we'd like to talk about the Anypoint Studio. So down here you'll get the link to download. Once you download, open that. It is a tool based on Eclipse. So this is the Anypoint Studio. Here these are the different projects. This has this structure. and in the source main app you will be writing the code or the flows. So all will be flows here in the MuleSoft. That is a fun part here. Don't get panic with this. So these are like database connector. This will talk to the database. This is very simple way. You just select the configuration. You can create number of configurations here and select host, port, username, password, database, and then you can test that condition. And once it's connected, you can access data. You can select different operations. These are all like very easy to do. If you're writing a code for entire thing, it would take days in other languages. So here is operation, select star from, and this will give the data. And there will be transformers. This is the place where you write small code to transform from one format to another format. You can use transformation to change into any number of formats available for a web service. From, if I'm getting data from database in Excel format, then I can change it into JSON formats or SOAP. Anything can be done during this transformation. And where you want to send, you want to send to another um, experience level API, then there will be a web service call here. So web service consumer, or you can just directly place a REST here that will be used to call that another service and send that data. Okay, this is a tool, Anypoint Studio. Download the Anypoint Studio. That's how you download it. Okay, and we have seen on how to monitor MuleSoft APIs and platforms, an introduction to it. So once your API is up and running here in the Anypoint Manager, runtime manager, then you can test the service using the Postman. So this is pretty much all you're gonna worry about the MuleSoft. Well, getting started to work on it is two kind of codes. One is the data view, or so this entire code will be in the XML format. Okay, and all you're gonna learn is data view. This is the little bit code which you can easily understand, more simplified form, and you can do a lot of things here in the. It almost supports all the um, Java functions. So that's the beauty of it. You just need to Google out on how to write data view for small things, and it will help you. And the one is data view, and the second one is raml, how to write a raml, how to design it. These are the only two coding aspects that are a little bit different from other technologies. MuleSoft specified and MuleSoft own these technologies, these two languages, so you have to learn that little bit. That's not a big deal. Anyone can learn it in 30 days, or as you started working on it, it's quite easy. So hope you like this crash course on how MuleSoft works and what a MuleSoft is. And see you soon with some other topic. Thanks for watching.